Sup, y'all? It's TV here from SMB Trading coming at you. We had a mega super 10 out of 10 chopper today, folks. Holy moly. This was ugly. This was some of the ugly price action I ever seen um, in my 6 months of staring at charts. This was a bad one. I mean, look at this. Look at Apple. Like, someone please explain to me how you're supposed to trade this. Like, you gotta be kidding me. This is disgusting. You can't even draw a clean trend line anywhere. It's like maybe a trend line there. Oh, you go short there. Well, back up. I mean, this was just outrageous. And good thing I called this. I've been doing this long enough now to know the day before FOMC. What's it? It's an untradeable shit show. So what did I do? I did not trade. I took one trade, make that two, I guess. I mean, one, I swung an Apple call from yesterday, and then I sold it, and then I saw Apple ripping, so I bought another one like an idiot. So, um, technically, I guess I sold it for a loss of like 90 or something, and then I guess I averaged down slightly, but didn't really because I already closed the position, reopened it. So it was stupid. I shouldn't have done anything today. I should have just not even bought that call yesterday because like I was naive to think that we were gonna get like a really green day today. At certain points it was really green, but wow, it was it was just a nightmare. I mean, come on, Spy. Look, I mean, what even is this, dude? Who was making money in this? Nobody. Like, I guess if you bought a put up there and you just held it all day, you made a little scratch, but holy moly, what a disgusting day. So, trade number one, I guess, where did I open that? Oh, show me all. Show me all. Da da da. Where? What? Huh? Oh, it's because my dates are all goofed up. Not from one. There you go. 7 days. All right. So we opened up that Apple call over here at 256. I sold it at $1.70, so that was about a $84 loss on that, which sucks. I opened it yesterday, kind of early-ish in the day, because SPY was right at support when I opened it, so I thought we might get a bounce. We didn't. We didn't go down at least, but I just bought it too early. When did I buy that? At 9:30 yesterday. So, yeah, I guess I bought that about around there yesterday. Or no, that's today. So I bought that up here, of course. I bought it as Apple was ripping yesterday, and I bought it at almost the high from yesterday. So, held that. We opened right here. We come down here. That's a fat loss. That sucks. I bought it at 135, sold it at like 131. We broke support. We tested the lows of yesterday. I should have waited to see what happened there, and then we bounced hard. But then we come up here, we touch the moving average, we come back down, we bounce again, we touch moving, we come back down, bounce. Oh my god, it was nauseating today. I literally could not even look at it. It was making me sick. So I saw that, and then I got back in. I grabbed another one at $200. Where did I grab that? So. And you're probably thinking, why would you even bother? It's basically gambling, and I agree. This is so. Of course, I grabbed one right there at the literal peak almost of today, but we closed. So I'm about even on it. I think it's down like 20 bucks or something. Yeah, 17. So I'm still confident we're gonna bounce tomorrow. Call me crazy, but I do not believe that after these past 4 days, that we can still continue going straight down. I think there has to be a relief bounce, and a lot of that depends on what the Fed does tomorrow. So, and then my other trade, Baba. So Baba had a really good day today. Baba, I mean, Baba does what it normally does. It gaps up, and it continued to run. So, what do? We gapped up, we ripped up to this key level up here, and this level, you can see what it's done in the past at this level. I mean, when it gets past it, there's a lot of action there. I guess the only action there. But I mean, it gaps up or it gaps down, usually at this level. Once it clears it, it rips. Once it breaks it, it drops. We rejected it intraday. Rejection, we're coming up. I get a green candle above it, so I'm like, all right, broke the level. You notice up here, green candle barely broke it. Then huge red candle, clear rejection. We get the break of it, we get a rejection, I'm still holding. We get a break of it, we get a rejection, still holding. We break it, reject. So it was, and that immediately was my sign to just like, all right, I'm taking a tiny loss on this. I took a $22 loss, and I'm just like, I'm done. This is terrible price action. Like, it's so bad. So I saw we cleared this here trend line, this dynamic trend line. I almost grabbed a put on that, and I would have set my stop up there, but I'm glad I didn't, because what do? We come up, we would have broke that stop, but then what did it do? It comes back down, then we tanked, and then it ripped back up. So it was just doing weird things around this level all day. It almost made like a head and shoulders right here. That would have been a sort of decent put, but then you would have gotten stopped out, because it was terrible. It was horrible price action. So I immediately recognized that, and I just took my small little L and slapped myself on the wrist, because that was a stupid thing to do. Because I I know there are trades everywhere. I can't see every little thing happening in the market, but I can only look at so many stocks and look for so many opportunities. And I mean, come on, like, look, what is this, dude? It's terrible. AMD too. AMD was like basically sideways. Yeah, look at that. AMD logged a 0% on the day. It opened and closed at the exact same price. Look at this shit. This is AMD. I mean, who's making money on this? It's like, I guess, scalpers. That's it. This is a scalper's day, and the days that aren't for scalpers are the days where it just goes straight down, and then you get a couple maybe green days every other week. But yeah, good God Almighty, you can't even draw a trend line on this shit. Like, look at that. Hey, maybe a trend line there. Hey, grab a put. No, we're straight back up. So I was happy. I only took a small L on the day. I'm mad I even bought that Apple call yesterday, because I should have known today would be choppy, and it was avoidable. I didn't have to. Something that did pique my interest was, of course, I bought. You'll never guess why I bought AR. So AR broke its support and just fucking tanked today. I mean, high volume selling. Look at the selling on AR. It had a lot of buying there at the end, so people were buying the dip. But oh my God, AR Antero took a giant dump, and that's thanks to the natural gas. Natural gas just tanked in price today. I don't know why. Oil didn't. Oil was fine. ExxonMobil, was sort of green today. Chevron, sort of green. I guess USO did go down a little bit, but watch, that's just my luck. I managed to buy in at the very top of the energy bubble, and it burst on me. But yeah, this was terrible on Antero. I didn't even average down. I gotta see what happens tomorrow. It's just awful. If you look at the daily, you can see here on the daily, it's bounced off of the 50 moving average once and twice over here, and we bounced off of it today. Again, we wicked down, bounced off of that. So I think if we get a daily close below that at like 37, that I'll probably just cut my losses. But yeah, that sucks. And I mean, and then you could argue there's a trend line right there, which no, that actually is kind of a support on the bottom of those. So maybe it's actually almost perfect. But I can't just like get panicked and sell out after one really bad day. But this is like literally the reddest day Antero has had all year. So there's a gold star to me. I managed to buy into something the second it immediately dumped. Yeah, that sucks. But we're holding strong. I'm looking at Baba. Baba almost, I don't know. I should be looking for bear short setups in a bear market, but me being the stupid bull I am, I naturally look for long setups, and Baba's got the gap to fill the upside. But I'm slowly figuring out that these gaps aren't like real gaps. They're not like normal American stock gaps. I mean, it just gets traded so much in Hong Kong overnight that these gaps are like, I don't know. Baba's just so weird. I don't understand. Chinese stocks are completely going crazy. Neo had a wacky day today, and I don't know. Neo's almost making like a bear flag down here. Not even that. That doesn't even hold up. I don't know. It's doing wacky things. It ripped today, but looking forward to tomorrow. we'll have some movement tomorrow. Pray to God it's to the upside. You would think when SPY is way down here on the RSI, that movement would be to the upside, but we are in that market where nothing really matters. Fundamentals just get tossed out the window if there is no if there's no good news. If there's no reason for the market to go up, it'll just, if there's bad news comes out, then it'll tank. I gotta show you what I saw on SPY today. SPY had I mean, this was a great setup. If today wasn't just such a chop fest. I mean, look at this. Almost, if you ignore the actual price action, this is almost like a perfect little falling wedge on SPY, and it looked beautiful. And we just kept tapping it, bouncing, and then we come to the top, tap, and then we come up, and yeah, it was looking nice. But look at these fake outs. I mean, it breaks out of it, huge green candle with nice volume. We get a shooting star, and then just straight back down in the wedge. Then we come back up, tap it, tap it. Oh shit, we broke out to the downside, grab some puts. Nope, we're going straight back up. It was just an awful day. Oh my gosh, this price action. I mean, where did it open? It opened here at like 376. Then we saw like at the peak up here, and then I mean it moved a lot. It was having 1% swings back and forth, but geez, if you're like me where you're waiting for like breakouts, like I saw this wedge and I'm like, I'm gonna grab the breakout. I'm not just gonna YOLO in. And if you, I was like, oh, I was a cunt hair away from grabbing a freaking call right here, and I was just like, don't do it, don't do it. You know there's not going to be any decisive buying on a day like today. There's not going to be, bulls aren't going to show up on a day like today when there is possibly terrible news right around the corner. So thank God I didn't, because what's it do? It breaks out and then just, oh, joke's on you, fooled you, tricked you, and we're going back down. And then, shit, and then the bear trap, too. It's like, how rare do you get a huge bull trap and then a huge bear trap on the same exact day? Like, just wild. So, SPY bounced here at like 370.50. I think that's 337.05 on SPX. So, hey, maybe a potential support at 3,700, maybe. 3,800 was the previous support. So, we'll see. It's not a crazy thought to maybe, I mean, we did close above that support there, that we could bounce from here. We could see a nice little bounce back up here to the top of this trend line, around maybe a bounce to 4,000 on SPX for the next leg lower. But we're kind of almost making like a falling wedge here on SPY, on SPX, sort of, kind of. Nah, not really. Yeah, but we're at the bottom right now. I mean, if there is like some crazy flash crash tomorrow, I'm like loading up on calls. Like this cannot continue. Look how oversold we are on the 4 hour. It's just nuts. Almost as oversold as we were over here on the 21st of January. So short-term bounce, clearly not like long-term. Like, oh, the bomb's in. So now the Fed, it's up to the Fed. The market's pricing in a 75 basis point hike because, I mean, there's articles everywhere of these, and the Fed can move the market. I mean, you slip a little text to a guy that works at the Wall Street Journal and be like, hey, we're thinking about 75 basis points. You can get the market to dump on that and just price that in for you. You can rug pull it before you even do it. So I feel like they might have done that, maybe. But I'm worried that Powell is such a spineless coward that he comes out and he's too scared of the market, and he's gonna be like, oh, we said 50 basis points, so we're just gonna stick with that. And I think I really do think the market is like, nah, dude, you got to do 75. The problem with inflation is that it's half psychology. Like, it's all about what Americans think about inflation. If Americans get to the point where we completely accept inflation and we expect it to just get out of hand and keep going, that's terrible, because then what do people do? Workers, they go to their boss and they say, hey, I need more money. Inflation's so bad. You see how bad inflation's getting? It's just getting worse. And then they demand more raises. And that just feeds into inflation. You get more pricing power at companies, and that's the wage price, the whole spiral that people are afraid of. So it's all about keeping expectations low. You can't let inflation go for so long and have a fucking spineless Fed that is just like, oh, we're kind of scared, man. We don't know. We still think, like, stop talking about soft landing. It's not gonna happen, man. You're not getting a soft landing. This is not. If this is your idea of a soft landing, then you gotta get you gotta come back to Earth, man. You are in space because the soft landing just ain't gonna happen. Clearly, like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills when I talk about like this shit, but it's so obvious that the soft landing. Just throw that thought out the window. Just give us 75 basis points. Hey, if they came out tomorrow and did 100, I think the market at first would like shit itself and be like, oh my god, this is an aggressive Fed. But right now, no one takes the Fed seriously. You cannot have a freaking Looney Tune bunch of clowns running the Fed and let public opinion get out of control, because that has a lot to do with inflation. If inflation expectations get high, inflation will continue to grow. You gotta freaking smack those expectations down. You gotta scare people. Be like, yeah, inflation's bad, but hey, we're serious about stopping it. Sorry, we might cause a recession, but hey, we'd rather do a 2-year recession than an 8-year depression. You know, they're just, no one's taking them seriously now, and it's crazy. For about 2 years straight, no one really cared what the Fed was talking about, so long as they just kept pumping it. So it's only, no one looks to the Fed until crisis comes, and then everyone's like, well, you guys aren't doing your job too well. You should have started hiking rates over here and said, oh, inflation's transitory. We don't know what's happening. Inflation's transitory. Uh-oh, inflation's out of control. So I'm really praying to God that Powell just comes out and somebody got in his ear and is just like, dog, this shit is bad. If you let this shit keep going, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. We see a 9%. Could you imagine next CPI report? We see a 9% on that. Oh, dude, the psych level. It's like when SPY like broke under 4,000. It's like a psych. It's like a shock thing. It's like that would be shocking to see 9% CPI inflation. So it can't happen. We gotta taper these expectations, or else things get crazy. And the Fed is just, no one takes them seriously. The bond market shows that. They are like just laughing at the Fed because yields are just like going crazy. So here's that. That's what I'm looking for. That's my projection for tomorrow, is that they I hope it's only one 75 basis point hike. Hopefully not like every other one's going to be a 75. Just, they got to be aggressive now. They can't like, it's just, they can't just like slowly roll into these rate hikes. Like, inflation is here and now. They could have done that if they started the hikes a year ago, but that window is closed. They gotta do it now. People want the 100 basis point hike. I mean, this last CPI report changed everything, and I hope it changed everything for them too. I hope it completely, like, Jerome gave his fucking head a shake and was like, holy moly, we're really behind on this. We gotta wake the hell up. So that's what we're looking at tomorrow. Let's see. So I think I read somewhere, of course I'm not going to be able to friggin' find it. I read somewhere that the market is basically priced in the 75 basis point hike. I mean, read somewhere, not that it matters, but I think the Fed's got to take advantage of that. Like, if the market is ready for that, then they got to take advantage of it. They can't just, I don't know, it's sad. It sucks. It sucks. But they can't just be so easy on it. Like, the market knows what inflation. That's why inflation is not good for stocks. They know inflation. What's it do? It bleeds the consumer dry. You have less money. You have less buying power. You can't buy the luxury crap. You can only, people go to Walmart. They go to Costco. You know, that's why people flood into those stocks. It destroys the American consumer. Inflation over time. The 80s is the best example. It lasted forever, and everyone was like, not poor, but no one had like crazy amounts of cash like they do now. And the economy likes when people have crazy amounts of cash, but it doesn't like when that cash, it turns into nothing. It goes, it loses value. So I think that if they do the 75, it'll be like shocking at first, but then eventually maybe we'll rally. At first, I was really optimistic that we would have a rally in the summer of this year, but those hopes are slowly dying. Maybe summer's the worst of it. Maybe I shouldn't hope for that. Maybe I should hope that we just get a summer of absolute blood, and by fall time, by this next winter, we'll see some kind of bottom. Maybe. Right now, just looking at SPX. So looking at SPX right here, the next key fib level, which would be the 50% retracement, which a lot of people think would maybe be a bottom, would be right here at 3,500, and that would also be the 200-week simple moving average. How about that? Look at that convergence. Huh. Isn't that interesting? The way that yellow line is right there at that fib level. And that would be a nice psych level to see a bounce. But I mean, we can't give up another 20% from here. That'd be wild. Another 600 points. We'd be down here looking at SPY at like 3,200. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. So hey, I took a L today. I took about $105 loss on my swings, or on one swing, and then that BABA put. So it could have been a lot worse. I didn't trade barely at all, so that's a win. I'm learning that. I know now that the day before FOMC, I might as well just take the day off. Not really, but like, if you see shit like this happening, where you get a freaking all the way up here to like a perfect, almost a perfect falling wedge on SPY, and as soon as it breaks out, it just fakes out, and then same to the downside. You get the one to the downside, and then it just fakes out and goes back up, and then we're back out. It's like, there's nothing to be gained from that. At least not for me. Scalpers, they can go crazy. They can make money off of this shit, but it ain't for me. And it never will be. I'm never going to be the guy who grabs 20 SPY calls and like sells them 20 seconds later in one candle. That just ain't me. So maybe someday, but not today. So, hey, we take the dubs. I'll take it. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.